It was a blistering Thursday afternoon in the small town of Elridge, the kind of place where everyone knew your name and your business. The sun baked the asphalt outside Joe's auto garage, where 34-year-old Miguel Alvarez stood hunched beneath the hood of a beat-up ambulance. Sweat dripped from his forehead onto the engine block, but he barely noticed. His calloused hands moved with purpose, tightening, adjusting, praying. The ambulance belonged to a local volunteer medical group, the kind that couldn't afford regular service. It had rolled into Miguel's shop just after lunch, sputtering, coughing, and on the verge of collapse. The driver, a panicked young EMT named Carla, had begged him to look at it. "There's a patient in cardiac arrest. We're supposed to pick him up in 10 minutes. Please, can you help?" Miguel didn't hesitate. He waved her in without checking paperwork or talking cost. "I got you," he said simply. But there was a problem. The shop's owner, Mr. Hargrove, a stern man with slick back hair and zero tolerance for charity, stormed in just as Miguel had the hood up. "What the hell are you doing?" he barked. "They're not paying. You know the rules, no service without a service order." "She said it's an emergency," Miguel replied, not looking up. "A man's life is on the line. I'll cover the parts if I have to." "That's not how this works," Hargrove snapped. "You're wasting company time and resources. You're fired. Right now. Pack up." Miguel paused, stunned. His heart thundered, but not because of the job. He looked at Carla's anxious face and the dying ambulance. Then he turned back to the engine. "I'll finish this first." "You're done, Alvarez." But Miguel ignored him. 15 minutes later, the engine coughed, rumbled, and roared to life. Carla burst into tears. "Thank you," she whispered before speeding off into the distance, sirens wailing, tires screeching. Miguel stood in the dust, holding his tool bag, watching her disappear. That night, he sat on the edge of his twin mattress in his one-bedroom apartment, staring at his hands. He had no savings, no backup plan. Just a 9-year-old daughter named Sophia who believed he could fix anything. He'd sacrificed everything for that ambulance. Had it been worth it? The next day passed in a haze. Miguel applied to every garage in town. Most were full. A few offered part-time. One offered him advice: "Don't play hero next time." 3 days later, Miguel was in the kitchen making boxed mac and cheese when a knock came at the door. He opened it to find a sharply dressed man with an earpiece and a calm but authoritative voice. "Miguel Alvarez?" "Yes." "You're requested at the Santorini Medical Center. Transportation is provided." "Is something wrong?" "My daughter." "No. You're not in trouble. Someone would like to meet you." Confused and wary, Miguel followed the man into a black SUV. 40 minutes later, they pulled into the private wing of the city's largest hospital. He was led through a maze of white corridors to a serene, sunlit room with floor-to-ceiling windows. A man lay in bed, hooked to monitors, but alert, an older gentleman with silver hair, warm eyes, and the kind of quiet authority that came from years of leadership. "Miguel," the man said softly. "Come in." Miguel stepped inside. "Sir, I don't understand." The man smiled. 3 days ago, you repaired an ambulance. The one that brought me here." He extended a trembling hand. "My name is Richard Blake. I'm the CEO of Blake Tech. They told me I had minutes to live. If that ambulance had been late," he paused, voice catching, "I wouldn't be here." Miguel's knees weakened. "I didn't know." "No, you didn't," Blake said. "But you acted anyway. At the cost of your job, your security, you chose to help a stranger. That's rare." Miguel looked down, overwhelmed. "Anyone would have done it." "No, they wouldn't," Blake replied gently. "But you did." Then came the shock. "I want you to come work for me," Blake said. Not in a garage. In innovation. I run a foundation that builds emergency vehicles for low-income communities. We need people who understand machines, and who understand people. I want you to help lead that program. Miguel stared at him, speechless. The job pays triple what you made. Full benefits. Support for your daughter. And more importantly, purpose. Tears welled in Miguel's eyes. He tried to speak but couldn't. Only a whisper escaped, "Why me?" Blake leaned forward. Because people like you change the world when no one's looking. Later that night, as Miguel tucked Sophia into bed, she looked up at him with those big brown eyes and asked, "Daddy, did you fix something today?" Miguel smiled through tears. "Yeah, baby. I think I fixed a few things." In the end, it wasn't the job he lost that defined him, but the life he helped save, and the new path it created. Sometimes, doing the right thing costs you everything. But sometimes, it gives you more than you ever dared to dream. And in one act of selfless kindness, Miguel Alvarez didn't just repair an ambulance. He rewrote his future.